there's a book that I restudied called Tribal Leadership, and it talks about the 5 levels of tribal leadership. And level 4 is we're great and they're not. And those are high performing teams. And then level 5, the other disappears, and the dominant conversation there becomes life is wonderful. And the example they give is Pixar. And so they interviewed lots of people about who's your biggest competitor. And, Microsoft would say it was Apple, or Apple would say it was Microsoft. And they interviewed the guys at Pixar and like, who's your biggest, what's your biggest competition? And they said, realistically animating hair. It's like a challenge that we haven't been able to, they weren't like, this other studio or anything like that. So they were, but they said that in this study, they said that stage 5 tribes, they'll go to stage 5 for some massive breakthrough, but then they'll regress to stage 4 again. And having a tribe that stays in stage 5 is probably a recipe for being conquered by an aggressive colonial force, Like, why are, how come where are all the vegan, vegetarian kind of races were dominated by the meat-eating, milk-drinking, grain-producing, savages who can wage war more effectively on them? So, the Vedic civilization has tiers and respects, like the Brahmanas, they're in stage 5 and they're concerned about spiritual awareness, but they're protected by warriors. And then you have like your merchants, the Vaishya class, the capitalist class, but they're not like the dominant class. Like today, capitalism is the overriding ideology. Now this, just to take it all back, takes us back to these racist extremist ideas. People don't want a religious theocratic social structure because they think that's oppressive and horrible. But the Mahabharata says that there's not enough grains, gold, or women in the world to satisfy the uncontrolled desires of even one man. And so when you have capitalism and satisfying the senses and acquisition of wealth as the overriding goal of life, you end up with what we have today, unsustainable, exploitative systems that drive themselves towards this like extinction, like, suicide systems, basically. Only spirituality can mitigate that. But how do you protect society's spiritual basis against organizing and self-organizing systems that are like, if we took this over, we could make a lot of money out of this? You have to have like a military or martial class that defends religious principles. And that creates an othering. Like, is there any way you can avoid an othering if, an intelligence agency or, a corporation wants to take over the country and turn it into a profit center? Maybe Martin Luther King or Gandhi style kind of like passive resistance to change their consciousness, but you run the risk of them just taking over. So it's a fine line at the material world to compromise. I don't have the answer. We're going to have to discover something.